Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Greenside Experience and also another episode of Luxe State of Mind. We are finally finished with this house here.
We've been at it for 2 years.
Yeah.
About 2 years, so this house is finally wrapping up, and it has some extraordinary details in here that are really special and unique to our homeowners and that we all kind of labored over to make sure that we got it right. So we're excited to show you all the bits and pieces.
Let's go.
Well, for our homeowner, it was really important to have a place where they could go outside and they could do their yoga and they could exercise and they could be one with nature. So it wasn't just important to have outside space, but it was important for them to have a visual peek into the outdoor from the interior of their space. The whole space is surrounded by windows. So whether you're in the office, the workout room, the living room, or just the main hall of the house, you get this beautiful view.
So this outdoor space was loosely designed by the architect, and it was up in the air whether it would be a deck or a raised patio. Ultimately, we decided to do a raised patio, and that gave us the ability to put the turf in. So Amy designed this kind of little cool section here with a standalone tree. That's a flowering tree, and then the yoga space out beyond, which is just outside the workout room.
Maybe Mike and I should go out there and do yoga poses. I don't even know any yoga poses.
That's more like ballet, but whatever. So we've also got an outside space here with all loose bluestone pebbles. There's going to be a fire pit in this little area once we get our furniture set here. And we're going to string up some lights. What do you call those, patio lights?
Yeah, patio lights, patio string lights. So you get that little sort of cafe, European ambiance going in the backyard.
There you go. Quite often you see these exercise rooms in the basement. You know, we have rubber floor here, got raised ceilings, but we put it on the first floor so we could look out to the yoga space and kind of create that cohesive feel between exercise and yoga.
Okay, this is the doctor's office. Another important element of this office was just this beautiful modern shelving backdrop, and then also the connection to the outdoor space.
You can see another view out into that awesome space, flanked by steel doors.
This is the foyer where we're standing, this whole big area. And really this house has so many windows in it and so much glass. We did a big solid pivot door for the front door. Do you remember how big this is?
It's 9 by 5.
Yeah. So, and when you walk in, you're sort of presented with the dining room space right here. So we just did a herringbone pattern, but we did this beautiful brass inlay here to really define the foyer and kind of set it apart from the rest of the spaces.
And another detail as a builder that I love to kind of show off is our area vents in the floor. You can see that we carried the herringbone pattern right through to the vent and the brass inlay. So it's a lot of detailed work by our contractor, but we kind of pressed on him a little bit to get it done, and you can tell the detail shines through. It looks great.
You want to get in here? How do I get this open? There we go. So we have secret closets in here, and this was absolutely an important detail to the homeowner, was to have the closets concealed, because this is a beautiful focal point when you walk in. And traditionally in a house, you walk in the hall and you see all these doors to random rooms, and so this was just a beautiful way to get all these spaces.
So not only do we have hidden closet doors, we've got a hidden office door. We call this the doctor door, so they can sneak out at all hours. These are held shut by magnets. I prefer those over ball catches because they're stronger and they just sit flush, and there's no maintenance in them.
This is the living room. We have this big dramatic fireplace.
Yeah, so this is all walnut. It's book matched, and center line is a brass inlay. Again, carrying that brass theme throughout the house, which is a really cool detail. Which leads down to a limestone mantle, flanked with some, what do you call this color? Granite?
Absolute black.
Like
yeah.
absolute granite, and a limestone hearth.
Yeah, and I love that little black detail around there. I feel like it makes the fireplace pop when you walk in the house. And then we have all the sashes in the house are painted black too, so there's a lot of this consistent strand of subtle black accents that run through the house. And I think one of the biggest challenges when you're designing a modern house is to make sure you bring in warm elements, because otherwise the house feels very stoic and kind of cold. So as you go through the house, you'll see natural stones with a lot of movement in them. You'll see warm accents of white oak and walnut, and you'll see beautiful tiles that bring in a lot of color and texture into the space. And that's one of the ways that we help the modern house feel
For sure.
livable.
It's definitely not a cold house, but
Yeah.
it's a modern house.
Yeah, we always start in the kitchen first because it really contains a lot of the homeowner's design DNA, their wishes and their dreams. In this kitchen in particular, we did actually quite a bit of reworking because all of the inspiration photos that the homeowner showed us had cabinets that were pressed into walls. So what we did is we bumped out all of the walls in the kitchen and we kind of pressed the cabinets into them. So we've got pantry storage, fridge, wine, freezer, another cabinet. But when you start doing things like that, you really sort of start messing with symmetry. So it's really important to make sure you keep your center lines on your windows and keep everything equally spaced so it ends up beautiful. This very large island, starting with a very large sink here, this galley sink with all the little accoutrements and two big faucets. And this is where we started integrating mixed metals too into the house. So again with the black, but we started integrating brass. And then you see it all around on the hardware. We have this beautiful Buster and Punch hardware.
From the builder side, you'll notice that the cabinets are set into the drywall without a piece of trim. They're basically set right tight with a little reveal, which is another hard detail to accomplish. You know, as you go more modern in these homes, even though it looks more simple, it's a lot more difficult to achieve those simple details. There's more planning, there's more levels, there's more squares, everything has to be perfect. We actually had to rework a few things because they weren't perfectly plumb or perfectly square. So it makes it difficult, but it makes it worth it in the end.
So we went ahead and we flanked the window with these big, beautiful cabinets with glass doors and internal lighting. So there'll be shelving in here and they'll be able to stack up their beautiful dishware and other pieces that they might want to have on display. And then of course all of their drawers are detailed out with dividers and all kinds of things. They're very intentional with the storage. And then this is kind of a fun ad. We've got all Sub-Zero and Wolf, or mostly all Sub-Zero and Wolf appliances in the house. We did these gold bezels on here just to bring a little bit of that gold back into the
Tie it all in.
range with the black handles, and it all matches. So I just want to introduce Miss Kelsey, who has been on our videos before, and she was our senior designer on this project, and she has done a fabulous job getting all these details and communication back and forth with Mike.
For sure, Kelsey's a rock star. We love her.
Yeah, just Mike's, you can't have her.
From the get-go, we went back and forth about what this material would be. At one point, it was going to be white oak, and we switched to hemlock, and it turned out wonderful. It takes a stain really well, so that was one of the reasons we felt like we could switch to that. It comes in really long boards. It's not super knotty, right? So really played to like the design we were going for up here.
And I love the way it looks. It's very clean and simple. And then this is one area, these light fixtures is an area that I feel like we went around and around and around again about, is it 2, is it 3, and then what does the light actually look like? And of course we didn't want to interrupt this beautiful ceiling with can lights, so we have these cute little night lights running down the hallway just to give a little extra glow, especially if you're running from one end of the hall to the other at nighttime. Welcome to the primary closet.
The clients decided to go with the herringbone pattern again up here, like in the foyer, and it just kind of creates this really like elevated space.
To see the bathroom, you really should come this way. Don't turn yet, don't turn yet, don't turn yet, don't turn yet. Walk this way. Okay, now turn. Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And this was quite a feat because we used porcelain slabs in here.
Yeah.
And so with a porcelain slab comes a lot of mitered corners and tricky details. And so we've got this beautiful thick mitered face on the cabinetry, and then the recesses for the niches, and then the whole back wall and ceiling of the shower is also clad in the porcelain. So a lot of tricky cuts and details to make sure they look perfect, so it looks like a solid chunk of stone.
At Greenside Design Build, we have a hard rule of no porcelain slab, and Amy's team really followed that direction.
Yeah.
And then I think we showed this floor before, but we went with a simpler floor because we really wanted the porcelain to like be the standout in the bathroom. But even with the brass accents now, I feel like when we were here before, a lot of the fixtures weren't installed, and you can see how those like carry throughout now. So it's a really special detail. And your installers did a really good job of kind of doing more of like a random pattern, really paid attention to detail. So it looks great.
And we've got floating vanities in here, and we actually have a window on this side of the bathroom that goes down to the floor. So there's some beautiful light coming in. So this whole vanity was really designed around this window, and we do have a mirror coming that
Hangs from the ceiling.
yes, that's the word. Thank
Yes,
you.
which are installed over here already. So they'll look super similar on the other side.
Yeah, and our homeowners are tall, so this gives them some privacy so they can do their thing in here, have their privacy. This was a little bit of a surprise attack from the homeowner. They changed these openings to arches on the fly, which ended up being something we loved, right? But we had to rework a lot of the design on the other side of the wall because we have a fully built-in bed that goes from one end to the other. So follow us.
And these carry throughout the first floor too. They're black downstairs, painted dark, but we decided to keep these all wood because you can see they're integrated with the headboard. And this wood stain is the same as in the primary bathroom. So keeping that continuity throughout. And our custom upholsterer did this whole bed for us. We drew it up and kind of had a vision from the clients that they wanted like antique mirror, these beautiful pendants on either side, and then bouncing to the other wall, which is one of the best statement pieces in the house, I think. The clients picked this stone out themselves. It's probably like the busiest stone in the house, I would say, but absolutely beautiful. And we did this fluted detail, which also took a lot of work from all teams to perfect this and make sure everything lines up.
And not only to flute the flat portions, but the curved portion as well. So this is not an easy detail to achieve on stone, but I think the team pulled it off. It looks awesome. So another detail that was made during the selection process is the doors. So normally you would see a door with panels, maybe a single panel or a two-panel door, but they wanted the modern look. We went with this flush slab door. So actually the door itself is not really that expensive. It's a simple slab, but when it's painted an opposing color, it really sets off and gives that clean, modern feel.
And because we didn't have a panel, we decided to do kind of a special backplate. So it's thinner than most backplates, which also means it has like a special boring detail that you have to know early in advance when you're ordering. But it has a really nice knurling detail on it too, which is actually on a lot of the cabinet hardware throughout the home. So just kind of, again, having those like little details everywhere throughout this house. Even though this door is simple, like the hardware is very beautiful. So.
And to clarify, when she says a boring detail, it doesn't mean it's drab, it means it's exciting. It's just the holes. The holes are more difficult, they're not standard.
Nice, Mike.
So
Joke explainer. This is the closet door that you walked through earlier that takes you into the closet. So If one of them has to get up in the morning, go use the bathroom, get changed and sneak out rather than having to walk through the bedroom and potentially disturb their spouse, they can come out the secret door and leave down the back staircase. We're in the basement, and it's a big basement, and it's pretty awesome because there's a lot of natural light in here. And then there's also a deeper basement with a basketball court in it. So we'll get to there, but for here we have this great back bar. In this space, we really designed this space for them to come down here with large groups of people and relax and have fun and have good interaction, game tables, seating, all that kind of good stuff.
And then another beautiful fireplace. There's so many in here, I can't even choose my favorite. You can barely see from there, but there are seams in this fireplace, but we cut the slab, we cut this whole piece perfectly out of the slab so it would vein match, and you'll see that upstairs too. So we really paid attention to make sure all those details were hit and done well.
Okay, so you have to come in and see the locker room. This is something that we talked about a lot at the beginning of the job because of our homeowners' love for Michael Jordan and all things Bulls. And so without any like copyright infringement issues, we really tried to glorify that in this locker room. But come on in. The homeowners have even set up their boxes with shoes here for us so you can see kind of the vision of what's to come. And the reason we need this locker room is because of what's right outside the door. This beautiful basketball court. Here, Mike, you get dinner if you get it in the first shot. You get one try.
We can take
a lot of pressure.
We can do a lot of takes.
Oh. You'll make it.
Oh, no, so close. You are going to capture all the misses, right?
Oh!
And that's why I'm a builder, not a basketball
that's
player.
right. One more?
All right, one more.
You got this.
There you go.
It only took 4.
Good job.
And of course, the most important detail, the disco ball for the dance parties. I think they said they were going to have a prom that they were going to invite us to, the clients.
We'll definitely be coming to that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us on our Luxe State of Mind project.
Yeah, it was a long, arduous journey, but we got through it. The place turned out great. Special thanks to Amy and Kelsey and her team. It's awesome. I'm honored to be part of this with them. And I guess we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.